Going to be our first look at Jace Doby, who we saw at the plate. So now we're going to see what he can do on the mound here, Ben.
Yeah, I mean, again, he's a talented kid, two-way player. This will be his second appearance, 3 innings in his first one. Gave up 2 runs on 4 hits, 1 strikeout, 1 walk. And he'll be going against a really dangerous top 3 of this Stanford lineup, starting with Rintaro Sasaki.
And also to give you the umpiring crew for today, behind home plate, calling balls and strikes, we have Frank Flugrat, first base umpire, Jason Rogers, Adam Dowdy at second base, and besides Barba, the third base umpire. We get a 4-man crew, which is a little bit rare when you think about college baseball. Usually it's a 3-man umpiring crew, but hey, I guess these guys say, like, hey, I can work a Monday.
I was going to say, hey, it's Monday afternoon. Where else are you going to be? Come on.
Here's Rintaro Sasaki looking at a first pitch strike from Doby.
Well, homecoming for Doby as well, from Santa Clara. Went to Santa Clara High School nearby, just down 101.
Now it just gets away on the catcher Snakenberg. Rintaro Sasaki, so far on the season, he has 2 home runs, but hitting under the Mendoza line at the moment at 171. And this is outside. But what fascinates me so much about a player like Sasaki is that he played his high school career in Japan, in the Iwate Prefecture. He's the #1 freshman coming out of the country. But get this, man. He owns the Japanese high school record for career home runs with 140. You got to think. He surpassed records of some of the Japanese greats. Hideki Matsui, Ichiro, Seiya Suzuki, Shohei Ohtani.
That's why there was all the hype with him coming to Stanford. And I think that can be maybe tough to manage for a young kid, coming to a new country, coming to a new school, play college baseball. Again, have a documentary crew following him around all last year. I want to see how he settles in now in his second season.
He's at the full count pitch, but fouled it off, so he'll get another life.
One thing I've been impressed by this year, and again, the batting average is not where he wants it to be, but he has drawn 10 walks. And so he's got his on-base percentage up at 356. So that's something that I think he needs to continue to do. Be patient up there. A lot of teams will probably pitch around him, or at least pitch him difficult and right on cue.
Talk about patience. He starts off the bottom half with a leadoff walk. Sure, Sasaki is one of those guys excited to watch Japan in the World Baseball Classic here. In my opinion, I think they're the favorite.
Yeah, I mean, they won it last time, right? And you got Shohei out there again, and obviously, gosh, so much talent, so much baseball talent coming out of Japan. Obviously, Rintaro Sasaki here at Stanford, but yeah, it's going to be a fun tournament to watch.
Here's Teddy Tokheim, freshman from the Emerald City, Seattle, Washington. There's that one down the right field line, but it's going to get out of play. Tokheim so far in 5 games is hitting .429, also with 2 home runs.
Yeah, he's got to be feeling confident at the plate. Homered in the last 2 games coming into this one.
Probably missing way high with the breaking ball there. Comes back with a 1-2. Bounce to third, but will go left of the third base bag. So Okheim get a deep at bat going against Jace Doby.
Okheim, the son of athletes. His dad was a rower at Wesleyan. His mom played golf here at Stanford. And his uncle was a good college baseball player at UCLA.
Okheim saying a high fly ball to left. Like left center, a little bit of wind carrying. Able to make the catch out there in center field. It's Jacob Doyle. Give you the defensive alignment for the Wolfpack. Romnick Yvonne in left field. Have Doyle out in center field. Sam Kane in right. Jackson Waller at shortstop. Third base, Sean Yamaguchi. Jack Mecho at second base. Junruk Kwon at first base. And then behind the dish, Nate Snakenberg. J.J. Moran, another hot hitter in the Cardinal lineup. Swing and miss at strike one there. We noticed with J.J. Moran, he's been a very disciplined hitter. He's opened up the year, a bit of a hit streak. Find himself down the count at 1-2 on Doby, but Moran hitting .395 with a pair of long balls and 8 RBIs to add to his totals.
He's coming off a 4-for-5 game yesterday.
Swing and a miss. Jace Doby giving him some hard stuff there. There's 2 gone.
Great movement. That thing started over the outside corner and just disappeared into the left-hand hitter's batting box. And a really good 2-strike pitch. Moran couldn't lay off.
There's Jimmy Natai, another international representative on Stanford. That's strike one from Doby. There's probably some banter in the clubhouse, knowing with Rentaro Sasaki from Japan, Jimmy Natai from Australia, 2 countries looking to face off in the WBC.
Absolutely. Talk about how, baseball really is a global sport. I mean, just about every continent, you got great baseball players. And that's what makes, I think, the World Baseball Classic so fun, is you can have these different rivalries on major league teams, on college teams.
Natai not able to catch up the hard fastball coming from Doby. One, two, hit out the left field. Playing back on it just in front of the warning track there is Keybon. He's able to make the catch. Can of corn for the left fielders. That's going to end the first frame. Stanford leave a runner on. Not much doing there in the bottom of the first. We'll go to the second frame. Still a 0-0 game. Top second, Nevada and Stanford. Everything's rolling here on this Monday afternoon, where we see a bit of a crowd filing in here in Sunken Diamond. I think these people had the day off, man.
I'm not going to tell on them if they're skipping work.
It's going to be Doyle, Waller, and Kane due up for the Wolfpack. Rod Kettleson, the first pitch strike to Jacob Doyle. getting quick ahead in the count, 0-2. Kelson trying to go off speed there. Sure, this turnaround to be a little bit unorthodox for Nevada. Swinging and miss in the dirt. They say that Lavin was able to get him on the tag. There's out number 1.
So nice start here for Brock Kettleson. A nice rhythm early on in this game. I like that he's getting ahead in counts, throwing a lot of strikes. Been efficient, just at 16 pitches right now through an inning and a third.
First pitch to Jackson Waller. High fly ball to right. Coming in, playing it well is Reynolds. And there's 2 quick outs.
A little better on the communication on that pop fly than the one to end the first inning in left field, but that's something that you'll work out early in the season. Guys playing together for the first time a lot of the time, and fortunately it's not too loud of an environment here, so you can hear each other calling for that. Problem is when you're both calling for it.
Don't want to have to go back to Little League. That's the first thing they teach you.
Of course, coming in from the outfield is easier play than going out from the infield.
Sam Kane, 7-hitter for Nevada, looking at first 2 pitch strikes. Kettleson trying to put the Wolfpack away here in this inning. Fly ball out to center field. And it's going to be 1, 2, 3. Down go the Wolfpack. Brock Kettleson with a shutdown inning there for the Cardinal, as just like that, Stanford coming right back up to the plate. For Jordan Getzelman, this is his first year as the head coach of the Nevada Wolfpack, as he was promoted from hitting coach and recruiting coordinator, where in the role that he was in over the last 3 seasons. But this is also a homecoming for him as well. He actually played just up the road from us at Menlo College, where he was an NAIA All-American slugger for the Oaks. He has a background coaching in the big leagues, where he was a hitting coordinator with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Yep. Obviously brings that continuity to this Nevada program. Like you said, he's been there now in his 4th year on the staff, first as head coach. Trying to continue what they've built. Obviously winning the conference last year, made the regionals a few years back in 2021.
So Brady Reynolds will lead off for the Cardinal. Junior from Bakersfield. Dobie just continuing to pound the strike zone here, Ben. There's the 0-2. Just a little bit off the black. One-two, swung on and missed by Reynolds. Oh, we got him chasing the ghost there for out number 1.
Yeah, both pitchers have looked confident out there. Working quickly, getting ahead in counts.
And Dobie has kept his pitch count in the mid-20s. I know it's only the 2nd inning, but you just think about the rate that he's going against the Stanford lineup so far. I have to be very impressed. Here comes Tatum Marsh. Oh, and that one clocks him in the helmet. Jace Dobie had to leave the mound to give him a little bit of apology there.
Yeah, good sportsmanship there. Obviously, you're never trying to hit a guy in the head. Unfortunately, the helmet did its job that time, and I think it absorbed all the all the force. So appears Marsh is okay.
Stanford, who haven't gotten a hit yet on the game, but they do have another base runner get things going here as Luke Lavin, catcher, will come up to the plate. Luke Lavin, another Cardinal with a pair of home runs on the year. Tied for second on the team in RBIs with 7. That first pitch strike continuing to work well for Jace Doby.
Now Lavin coming off a home run in yesterday's game. The loss to Fresno State.
One taking a little bit at the letters. Ours taken off for second. It's going to be fouled off.
Marsh has good speed, play a little hit and run there. Try and create some holes in the infield.
Luke Lavin having to protect here now with 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Doby. And fouled off to the left.
Well, it's not the warmest day here on the farm, although it was about 63 right now. Looks like there's not a ton of wind. We'll see how the ball carries. Saw a couple of deep fly balls back in the first inning.
Luke Lavin able to stay alive. And you mentioned, flight of the ball, and for Nevada, them playing out in Reno, they have advantage, have elevation always in their advantage, which explains why they're one of the best hitting teams in the country.
Yeah, not the most friendly place to be a pitcher.
There's a shot sent out to center field. It's got a little bit of carry to it, and that one is right off the batter's eye. It is gone. Luke Lavin going downtown and all around with a 2-run bomb. Stanford able to get on the board, 2-0 in the bottom of the second.
Second straight game of the home run. That one carried pretty well, and just a nice, easy swing. Sent the ball right back where it came from. And Lavin, a lot of power in that bat. It's a good start for the Cardinal.
Junior catcher out of Laguna Beach, California. It's a hotbed for college baseball talent. Able to tack on another homer for the season. Give him homer number 3, so hope to see a little bit more from him. Of course, you love to see a power hitting catcher always dominate in your lineup. How about this? We got pitcher versus pitcher with Brock Kettleson coming up for the first time today. Bounced in the dirt. Yeah, the fans, they're getting a treat seeing two-way guys go at each other, and of course with how they're going to dominate the plate. As you can see, Kettleson driving that one out the left center. It's going to fall in for a hit. He's trying to stretch it, and he'll slide in the second of a double.
Yeah, Kettleson with those long strides. He had no doubt out of the box. He was going for 2 and wasn't even close. Nice bit of hitting there. So, yeah, Kettleson's got to be having fun today. A couple of scoreless innings so far, and now 1 for 1.
Not just that, but he gets a hit off of his opposing pitcher at that. Here's a fun guy to check out for the Stanford fans as making his first collegiate start, Rashad Hayes. Shortstop out of Oakland, product of Bishop O'Dowd High School. Rounds it over to third. It's picked up by Yamaguchi, makes a solid throw to first to get Hayes.
And nice base running there from Kettleson to take third base. I know there's 2 outs, but that could be a big 90 feet. You can score now on a wild pitch or an infield single.
Well, Jace Doby isn't out the woods yet. Still has to face power hitting Rentaro Sasaki, who will come back up. He walked in the bottom of the first. Just getting away from Snakenberg. Oh, looked like that like clipped Sasaki there, so he'll get off a hit by pitch. The second one allowed for Doby in this game.
So again, Sasaki continues to get on base. He had the walk, as you said, in the first inning, his 11th of the year. Now he's hit by the pitch. I mean, again, the batting average still below 200, but he's contributing in other ways. And now a big at bat for a hot-hitting freshman.
Teddy Tokheim in a big spot, but 2 outs. Tokheim flew out to center field in his first AB. Doby's first pitch to him, strike right across. Fly ball to center field. This one is going to stay in the yard, however. There's Doyle making the catch to retire the side. But the Cardinal able to have a big swing coming off the bat of Luke Lavin. He sent a 2-run home run to center field that gives Stanford the 2-0 lead as we'll go to the top of the third. You're tuned into Monday afternoon college baseball here on the ACC Network. Welcome back to Sunken Diamond as we're now on the top of the third. Stanford able to get 2 on the board next to a Luke Lavin 2-run home run, his 3rd of the year. So this is going to be Snakenberg, Mitcho, and Keybon due up for the Wolfpack. Brock Kettleson back on the mound after he hit a double the last half of the inning. Goes down 2-0 on Snakenberg. Fly ball hit the center field, and it will be playable for Marsh. There's 1 gone.
Another first leadoff hitter retired for Kettleson, and now trying for that shutdown inning. Gets the 2 runs in the bottom of the second. See if he can get through the bottom of the order here and make those 2 stand up.
He's retired 5 straight so far. Now 2 1/3 innings of work. He's going to see Jack Metcho, the 9-hitter for Nevada. Only Metcho's 2nd start of the season. Not a guy that sees the field a whole lot, but Coach Getzelman giving him some playing time today. Think about a 4-game weekend stretch. You know, the Nevada bench has to be pretty lively. Metcho sends that one in the gap in left center field, and it's going to roll all the way to the wall. Jack Metcho is going to park it at second. A 1-out Ducey. Nevada trying to get the bats out here.
That's one way to get more playing time. Good swing. Drove that ball, and now you get to turn the lineup back over. Got a runner in scoring position for your leadoff man.
That opens up the door for Romanik Kibon. Romanik Kibon was a big name in the JUCO circuit before coming to Nevada. He played his JUCO ball at Lassen College. He hit .370 and has 30 stolen bases in 2025. Kelson able to put one past Kibon for a strike. Goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. That one goes into center field past Hayes. As advancing over to third, in with a slide, is Mecho.
Well, it's a big 90 feet, obviously. Into third with just 1 out, and now see how Stanford plays this. I wonder if they bring the infield in, or with a 2-run lead, maybe give up that run and trade it for an out. Looks like it'll be the latter. The infield stays back.
Kibon looks at the 2-1, low for ball 3. So that pickoff move could be a factor in how Kettleson is able to manage this hitter. Come back. The pitch there, strike 2, had Kibon swinging.
Well, if you're Kibon here, I mean, obviously you just got to put this ball in play. They're giving you a run on a ground ball.
See who wins the duel. Here's the payoff. That one just misses for ball 4.
That's a good take. Sometimes when you got that potential RBI, you want to be extra aggressive and they'll chase a little bit, but trusting his teammate Kwan to get the job done. And now let's see if Kibon is potentially in motion from first.
And as mentioned, he did have 30 stolen bases at Lassen College a year ago, so he does possess some speed out there on the base paths.
Obviously a little tougher going against a lefty, but this is another one where you're curious how Stanford would play this if he does take off. Do you throw down to second base and risk the runner scoring from third?
Good pitch there for Kettleson against Junyuk Kwon. And they're able to set up the table for the Wolfpack's best hitter. A little chance for Stanford to turn a double play, though. Off-speed pitch. Kettleson had to put that one in neutral.
Yeah, Kwan was fooled on that one, and there's a nice pitch from Kettleson.
1-2 pitch coming up. Oh, that one gets away to the backstop, and that's going to allow Metro to come up scoring. Wild pitch gives Nevada their first run. Kibon able to move the second. Two on Kwan. Time run now at second. There goes Kibon taking off for third, and he's going to be in with stolen base.
I like it from Kibon. You know, Kettleson is obviously probably upset with himself because he had the throwing error on the pickoff play and then the wild pitch. Kind of loses track of the runner. Kibon takes third uncontested.
Comes the payoff. Called strike 3. Junyuk Kwon gets handed the backwards K from Kettleson. There's 2 gone.
Wow. That's a great pitch, and how about that for a response? You talk about Kettleson maybe being upset with himself for the error in the wild pitch. He responds and strikes out a very dangerous hitter.
Brock Kettleson able to dodge a bullet, keeping the tying run at bay at third base. It's Jace Doby, so Jace Doby trying to get even against Kettleson here. First pitch ball down low. Doby did single in the first inning. That was Nevada's first hit of the game. That one is hit, and it's going to get underneath the glove of Hayes. Jace Doby gets the lick back against Brock Kettleson to tie the game up at 2.
Well, we've seen both pitchers now getting the job done at the plate. Doby 2 for 2, ties the game up. Kettleson had that double last inning, but unable to get the shutdown inning on the mound, and credit to Nevada. That's a good response after you give up the 2-run homer. Some good at-bats here in the third.
Ground ball to third, stays fair. Diving stop by Moran on the backhand, and able to get the throw in time. Jason Rogers with the call at the bag, but an excellent play at the hot corner by Moran to keep this a tie ball game. But Nevada able to bring 2 across on 2 hits as we'll go to the bottom of the third. Got a ball game here on a Monday afternoon here on the farm. Now the Wolfpack able to put together a solid top third, putting up 2 runs. So we got a tie game here at Sunken Diamond. And, you know, it's that common thing, Ben, where a player makes a nice play to end the inning, they get to lead off. So here comes J.J. Moran.
That's just a rule of baseball right there. That's science.
And Moran, not only can he do it with the bat, but he can also do it with the glove. Looks at strike one from Jace Doby, who was responsible for bringing in the tying run for the Wolfpack. So that 2-way combination definitely working in the success for Nevada's pitcher. Moran sending a fly ball to right, as that one is going to carry on into the trees and disappear. J.J. Moran with the big shot to put the Cardinal back in front, 3-2.
How about that opposite field power? That was a nice, easy swing. He just went with it, and it took off. His 3rd home run of the year. He's got some pop.
That man is lighting fire to the metal right now, Ben.
Red hot. Getting it done with the glove as well, as you said last inning.
Jimmy Natai come up for the 2nd time. He flew out to left field. And it's another fly ball to center field. This time it will be playable for Doyle in the standing yard as there's one gone. You know, we mentioned the ball flying in this case, and we think about how the days, you know, overcast, but still a little bit of a solid temperature, you know, baseball weather with a little bit of cloudiness, but, you know, for Stanford, they know this park very well, and they want to show to the Wolfpack that, hey, we can knock it around too.
Yeah, this Cardinal team over the years has hit a lot of home runs in this ballpark. They've now got 12 this season in game number 12.
Brady Reynolds struck out in the 2nd inning. Takes that one high and in from Doby. Doby still at a modest pitch count here in the 3rd inning. It's in the low 40s at the moment.
You know, we'll see how deep he goes into this game. His first outing was 3 innings. So we'll see if we start to get any bullpen action here for either team in the near future. Nothing yet.
Yeah, right now, the Nevada bullpen is looking like a ghost town. Ran it on Reynolds, fouls it out. Mentioned about Nevada coming out here to the farm in the first time in 11 years, but Stanford has the advantage on them in the all-time series at 21 wins and 8 losses. A swing and a miss on strike 3. Reynolds goes down for the second time today. Now 3 strikeouts for Jace Doby in this outing. Into Marsh, a little bit of a roller down the third base line. But Frank Flugrat is going to say that one's foul.
Nevada, as you said, sticking around in Northern California after their 3-game series in Davis. They get to head back home after this, host Pacific for a 3-game series beginning Friday, and then they'll be back here next week, next Wednesday, another game on the farm against the Cardinals.
Bit of an interesting turnaround. Like, you take it back to Reno for a series, then you got to make the trek back here to the Bay Area. I know that drive from Reno to the Bay Area isn't an easy one, especially knowing how much snow we've been getting all over the country this year.
Depends on the weather. That can be a nice, smooth, easy drive sometimes. That can be a nightmare other times.
Yep. And we know in that Reno, Tahoe area, part of Nevada, people like to go out for the ski season. 1-1, bounced over to third. Nice play. Made by Yamaguchi.
Wow.
And able to get the throw across to end the inning. Oh, defense continues to stay on display as Sean Yamaguchi taking a good play to keep Stanford at bay, but J.J. Moran gets the Cardinal back in front with a solo shot as we're headed to the 4th. 3-2 here on the farm as you are tuned into college baseball on the ACC Network.
Welcome back to Sunken Diamond as we head to the 4th inning. Stanford leading Nevada 3-2 on this Monday afternoon. Ben Ross alongside Philip Hall. Thanks for joining us on ACC Network Extra. It'll be Jacob Doyle to lead things off for the Wolfpack. And a swing and a miss from the junior. 5, 6, 7 hitters due up. Doyle followed by Jackson Waller and Sam Kane. Facing the left-hander Brock Kettleson. 1-1 the count.
I mean, this is a part of the lineup that Brock Kettleson has been able to keep off balance. Doyle, Waller, and Kane was able to put down 1, 2, 3 back in the 2nd inning.
Doyle struck out his first time up in that 2nd inning. Batting .267 on the young season. No home runs, 5 RBIs. That's popped up. A lot of foul ground here. Sasaki giving it a chase. And oh, what a catch! That one started coming back toward foul territory. And Sasaki stuck with it.
And Rentaro able to utilize that foul territory made available here at Sunken Diamond. A little bit of a fight with the wind as that ball was in the air, but Sasaki able to stay with it, and it's always a tough play for an infielder to make, having to chase one down, but still trying to fight where it's going to fall.
Yeah, showing the athleticism on that one. Jackson Waller, the batter, will take ball 1.
And Sasaki's a pretty big guy too. Kind of reminds me a little bit of Prince Fielder.
Yeah.
Boy.
Yeah, another big guy who could move well. 2-0 the count now on Waller, who's 0 for 1 today. Waller 5 for 30 on the season. A couple of doubles and a triple. He's ahead in the count here, 3-0. 2 runs on 3 hits for Nevada, 3 runs on 3 hits, 1 error for Stanford. We're in the top of the 4th inning. There's a strike from the lefty Kettleson.
Now for David Esker, sure he has high confidence for Kettleson to get through this part of the order.
Now 3-2. Waller, a senior from San Marcos, California. Here's the payoff pitch. Ball 4. So that's the second walk issued today by Kettleson. And a runner on for Sam Kane.
He's let a few get away from him, but it hasn't really been too much of an issue, because knowing how his work rate has been on the mound, now hitting the 50 pitch threshold.
Check swing, it's a called strike. Waller with good speed at first base. He's 3 for 3 stealing bases this year. Got a pretty good lead against the lefty, and there's a throw over. Kane 0 for 1 today, flied to center back in the 2nd inning. Hitting .226 on the year, no home runs, does have 3 doubles. And 3 runs batted in. Another check swing, they'll look down to first, and no swing. Says the first base umpire, that's Jason Rogers. Waller dancing around, pickoff play, they got him. Kettleson catches Waller too far off the bag, and now the umpires are going to come together. We might get a replay review here.
Yeah, not a bad move there by Kettleson. Definitely had Waller slacking a little bit. Waller, he wanted to stretch that lead out, but Kettleson just having sharp eyes over first.
So it is a Nevada challenge. Waller was convinced that he got back. Go over to the monitor and take a look, and we will see. But yeah, Waller, you could tell he was wanting to run. The last couple of pitches, he was dancing around out there, maybe leaning towards second base. Kettleson, a good quick throw to first, and Sasaki made the tag. The question was, did he get it down, and did he get it in time?
Ben, as a player who pitched himself being a lefty, lefties, they always have that advantage to go for pickoff moves on plays like that. And, just knowing how Brock Kettleson was keeping that close eye on Jackson Waller at first, you have to be very aware as a base runner, especially going up against a lefty pitcher. And, sometimes coaches, they'll teach you to watch the feet. Watch the feet of any left-handed pitcher you face if you're really trying to look for a steal.
Yeah, it's got to be so hard. I mean, so many lefties have such great moves where they can disguise if they're coming to the plate or if they're going to try the pickoff move. Yeah, it can't be easy out there on first base. And then there's the other argument that a lot of base runners have, that lefties balk on almost every pickoff move. But there's a fine line between a great move and an actual balk. So they're still taking a look at this one. Our umpires today: Frank Frugret, Jason Rogers, Adam Dowdy, and Isaiah Sbarba. So there you go. The call stands. Waller is out. It'll go as a pickoff for Kettleson, and just like that, 2 outs in the inning.
Kettleson able to get pretty good out on trying to keep Nevada off the base paths here, and that's the one thing you really want to do, is knowing how well of a hitting team you're going up against.
Count is 1-1 on Sam Kane.
I mentioned a lot about Nevada's offense. Before Jordan Getzelman was named head coach, as the hitting coach last year, the team hit .296 with 79 homers. That's a program best in his time with the Wolfpack.
They're going to say he went around, and that's a strikeout. So just like that, the inning is over. Nice job by Brock Kettleson, the pickoff, followed by his 3rd strikeout of the afternoon. We'll head to the bottom of the 4th from Sunken Diamond. Stanford leading Nevada 3-2. We move to the bottom of the 4th inning from Klein Field at Sunken Diamond. 3-2 Stanford leading Nevada. Chase Doby back on the hill for the Wolfpack for his 4th inning of work. He'll face the 7, 8, 9 hitters, Luke Lavin, Brock Kettleson, and Rashad Hayes. And Lavin, with one of the bigger swings of this game, back in the 2nd inning, a 2-run home run to put Stanford on the board. He's now batting .250 on the year with 3 homers and 9 RBIs. And he'll take a strike here.
Any college coach will tell you that they love to have power at the bottom of the order. Luke Lavin provides that. Even Brock Kettleson, he's going to have some moments at the plate where he's going to provide it.
Just missed there from Doby, 1-1. Lavin now with those 3 home runs leads the Cardinal. Big swing and a miss, 1-2. Actually, J.J. Moran also hit his 3rd home run today, so both Moran and Lavin tied for the team lead. 2 of the 3 hits for the Cardinal today have left the yard. That's a pretty good pitch and a tough take by Lavin.
Yes, sir, it was. Jay Stobie trying to get Lavin to go for the junk there. Lavin had a great approach at the plate today. Definitely waiting to find his pitch where he wants to hit it.
Here's the 2-2. Fouled away. Lavin, for a guy with a lot of power, has only struck out 6 times this year through 32 at-bats. He's battling up there right now, 2-2. And another foul.
That's a good sample size. Usually, for any recruiter, they want to find hitters that have a good base on ball to strikeout ratio, just knowing that, hey, if you're able to draw more walks than you do strikeouts, then that's the guy I want in my order.
Absolutely. Another 2-2 pitch and another foul. This is a good battle here.
There is. Jay Stobie having that pitch count go up gradually. I know the stock market is down, but for any lineup, they want to make sure that the pitch count is up.
He's up above 50 now. And he wins the battle. Nice off-speed pitch. Lavin chased it. And that is strikeout number 4 for Jay Stobie.
Yeah, it's just a pitch you just got to tip your cap to, and then a bat you have to tip your cap to Luke Lavin. Jay Stobie going outside. It looked like it was a slider that just dropped off the table. Always the pitch that's a tough one to get.
So here's the pitcher, Kettleson, who is 1 for 1 at the plate today. He doubled back in the 2nd inning. Fouls the first one to the screen. That was Kettleson's first hit of the year. He's now 1 for 6 at the plate. has drawn a couple of walks. Trying to help his own cause with a little more run support. Shows bunt, takes ball one. As we mentioned, this is the first meeting between Stanford and Nevada since 2015. Been a while, more than a decade. Cardinal has won the last 6 meetings between these teams. You got to go back to 2002 since the last time Nevada was able to beat Stanford. 2-1 now on Kettleson. Sun starting to peek through again here. And a foul tip into the glove for strike 2.
Is to think these two programs are, in a way, almost like neighbors.
Yeah, not too far at all.
Yeah, Nevada's just one state over.
2-2 pitch. Pulled on the ground to the right side. Ranging to his left is Mecho, and he makes a nice play. 2 away.
It was almost bang over there at first. Kettleson, he was going hard out the box, but solid defense there by Mecho, able to get the throw. He mentioned just the duration of time where Nevada and Stanford haven't seen each other, but before the game, David Esker walked over to talk to Jordan Getzelman, just having a bit of a reunion. You can see that, solid relationship, just knowing that, hey, this is Getzelman's a guy that played in this area. I'm sure with David Esker through his tenure, coaching at Cal, and then coming over to Stanford, of course, him being an alum, he has familiarity with the guys that were able to make a name in the college scene.
Absolutely. Well, and as you said, Nevada has played in this ballpark in regionals before, not too long ago.
That's right.
Wolfpack looking for back-to-back Mountain West titles. They were 34-23 last year, 19-11 to win the conference. 1-2 on Rashad Hayes, who's getting his second at bat today. Hayes grounded out in the second inning. So 0 for 1 on the afternoon, 0 for 2 on the season. Freshman from Oakland.
Rocking my favorite number 5.
Number 5. Why is that your favorite number?
Well, my birthday is February 5th.
Okay.
And it was
happy belated birthday.
Thank you. And it was a number that I actually wore in high school myself.
All right. So. You're going to have to go get that jersey from him after the game. Got a jersey swap here. Driven to right field pretty well. Kane going back, looking up, off the wall. Nearly hit it out, but that'll be his first hit. And it's a 2-out double. How about the opposite field power from Rashad Hayes?
Yeah, we're getting to see it on display. Coming into this game, Rashad Hayes only had 1 plate appearance to begin his collegiate career, but able to deliver big time. Man, talk about getting yourself in the tally there, kid. Rashad Hayes with his first collegiate hit with that double.
Nearly hit it out of the park, too.
Oh, man, I'm sure he would have loved that.
I'm sure that will come. And now the leadoff hitter, Rintaro Sasaki, comes to the plate, trying to add to this 3-2 lead. Sasaki's been on board both times today. Walked and was hit by a pitch. That is crushed to right field. If it's fair, it's gone. And it is gone. A no-doubter for Rintaro Sasaki. 5-2 Stanford.
That power from the Far East is big time, Ben. Rintaro Sasaki not wasting any time, jumping on the first pitch from Dobie, just launching that one over the trees in right field. And we talked about this coming in. I say Rintaro Sasaki, he reminds me a lot of Prince Fielder with his body type, the power that he has from the left side of the plate, the way that he moves. And, this is a guy that is going to be seeing the ball very well down the stretch for the Cardinal.
Sam Kane did not even move in right field. Love to see how far that one traveled. As Teddy Tokheim chops it up the middle for a base hit. So for Sasaki, that is his third home run of the season. So Sasaki, Moran, and Lavin have all hit their third home run today for the Cardinal. And the bats are awake for Stanford.
I'll tell you what else is awake is the Nevada bullpen. They're starting to get some arms up loose over there as Jace Doby. He's getting knocked around this inning.
He had a good first inning. He gave up 2 in the second, gave up another in the third, and now 2 here in the fourth as the Cardinal starting to connect on some good contact. Here's J.J. Moran, who takes ball 1. So Moran had one of those home runs. Doby trying to get the final out here of this fourth inning. Tokheim taking his lead off of first. That one in the dirt. Tokheim trying for second. The throw down, and he beats it. Good aggressive base running by Tokheim. He did not hesitate, and he's into scoring position.
Not all. And I would say if I'm Nate Snakenberg, I'm going out to talk to my pitcher right now, just knowing that, you know, the confidence is starting to dwindle a little bit for Jace Doby.
At this point, you're just trying to get out of the inning and limit the damage here. Still only down by 3 runs. A lot of baseball to be played. Cardinal looking to add on here now with the runner in scoring position. Swing and a miss. 2-1. Moran coming off a 4-hit game yesterday. Another swing and a miss. Good pitch to even the count. 2-2.
Almost looked like it was in the same spot. Jace Doby, you know, J.J. Moran just trying to get around on that pitch.
Here's the 2-2. Good take. And a full count with Jimmy Nadai, the cleanup hitter, waiting on deck. Tokheim on second, 2 away. And Moran will call for time. Looks like he got something in his eye there.
It might have been a fly or something. You
Yeah.
know, this spring came early here in the Bay Area, so
That warm weather, plenty of bugs flying around.
yeah, I mean, that pollen, you know, man, it hits different.
You're telling me. Doby from the stretch. Here's the 3-2. Chop it to short. Waller throws on time, and that will retire the side. But the Cardinal add 2 more runs, courtesy of the 2-run home run from Rintaro Sasaki. And at the end of 4, Stanford leads it 5-2. Heading to the 5th inning at Sunken Diamond, Stanford leading Nevada 5-2. And Nate Snakenberg will lead things off. Number 8 hitter in the lineup for Nevada. First pitch strike from the lefty Brock Kettleson.
Snakenberg flew out to center field his last AB.
Quickly 0-2. Snakenberg in his first action at the plate this season. Takes ball 1.
And you know, the talk about road trips, catchers, they get the worst of it. That's why you really have to have a deep catcher lineup.
And there's a swing and a miss. Another strikeout for Kettleson.
Brock Kelson getting the 5th inning from Esker.
Yeah.
So, hasn't toned it down just yet. Still, continuing to produce, especially, Stanford putting up a 2 spot in the last inning. Now he gets that extra buffer with the lead.
This will be his 60th pitch of the afternoon. 35 strikes. Just the 2 runs allowed, and he's got a 5-2 lead as that's strike 1 to Mecho.
And that strikeout, it gives him 4 on the afternoon.
Ball 1, Mecho is 1 for 1 today. He doubled and scored his first time up. 2 for 4 now on the season as he takes ball 2. So Mecho, the number 9 hitter, and then back to the top of the order with Romanick Kibon waiting on deck. 2-1 pitch on the way. Foul tip, 2-2.
I know for hitters, the one advice that you would give to them is don't look at your stats this early in the season.
Yeah.
Don't be fixated on like, oh, I'm hitting 200, oh, I'm hitting 220, I'm hitting 230. There's still a lot of games left to be played, and consider this to be reps, like before you hit conference play.
Yeah, very small sample size, and like you said, you want to be playing your best in conference play. I mean, the difference obviously between college and professional baseball, these guys don't get a spring training. They don't get the exhibition game. This sort of is their spring training.
Absolutely. I mean, we mentioned spring training. You got superstars hitting like in the 100s, and people are like losing their minds over it.
Yeah. Well, there's ball 4, so Mecho has been aboard both times today. And that's a nice job from the bottom of the order. Turns it back over for the leadoff man, Romanick Kibon. Kibon 0 for 1 with a walk and a run scored. And that's a high strike to start the at-bats from Kettleson. Kibon off to a really nice start this season. Hitting .417. Quick throw to first base. Mecho dives back in there.
Ben, with Romanick Kibon being such a good player at the JUCO level, it really defies what the transfer portal tends to provide. Some programs may not have the resources to go for the big-time transfer portal acquisitions. I'm sure Nevada, their pick of the litter is very slim when it comes to top names, but the JUCO ranks, don't sleep on it, folks. There are some gems down playing JUCO ball across the country.
Oh, no question about it. You got so much talent out there these days. We see it a lot, where JUCO players just tear it up, come into the D1 level, and continue. 2-1, and now 3 balls and a strike. So there is some movement in that Stanford bullpen now. As Kibon ahead in the count here, trying to reach base and bring the tying run to the plate. The 3-1. That is a strike.
Kettleson able to make Kibon break the plane there. I like how he's going up and down in the strike zone, trying to make these Nevada hitters work.
Payoff pitch. Line drive to left. That gets down in the corner. Foul ball. Not by a whole lot. And that's a break for Stanford. That likely would have scored a run.
Yeah, it was a well-hit ball off the bat by Kibon, but thankfully with all this foul territory here at Sunken Diamond, Makes it a little bit more of a challenge for the hitters. Try to keep it in play.
So it remains 3-2. Metcho at first base, 1 out. He runs on the pitch, and it's going to be a base hit. Splitting the gap in left center field. Metcho never stopped running. He'll come around to score. An RBI double for Romanik Kibon. And Nevada gets one back. It's 5-3.
Kibon's the kind of hitter that is going to hit for a high average and shoot him in the gaps. And you can see there on the hit and run, works successfully for the Wolfpack. Able just to get it out there in that left center field gap where the outfielders were playing Kibon a little bit open.
So that brings up the dangerous Jung-hyuk Kwon. He represents the tying run at the plate. Kibon on second as the first pitch from Kettleson inside, ball 1.
It's really been the part of the order that's just been a headache for Brock Kettleson on the mound today. Just that top half for Nevada is doing damage.
2-0. And probably a good decision here from Luke Lavin to go out and talk to his young pitcher. Whole conference on the mound now as there's a couple of Cardinal relievers getting loose. Three runs on 4 hits for Nevada, 5 runs on 6 hits, 1 error for Stanford. We're in the bottom of the 4th inning. Excuse me, we're in the top of the 5th inning.
And a good move on Lavin to go out to talk to Kettleson. You know, that's a catcher that's very aware of how to manage with pitchers. You know, Lavin is like the right hand to David Esker when it comes to trying to manage rotations. You know, he has to, you know, make sure that all the pitchers that he has to work with, like, know their confidence levels, know, you know, what do I say to them to get them to stay on their game.
Pickoff play. Kibon is back in there safely.
I always like to say that the catcher is the coach on the field.
That's why so many of them end up becoming coaches or managers.
Absolutely.
They just have to have such an awareness of everything that's going on.
And you drop a few like Joe Girardi, catcher, Joe Torre, Mike Sosha.
Yep.
I could go on.
Yep.
Yogi Berra.
Obviously Bob Melvin, who was the manager of both the A's and Giants for a bit. 3-1 on Kwon with Chase Doby waiting on deck. Foul tip, 3-2. Kwon made 40 starts last year before he suffered a season-ending injury toward the end of the year. Missed the last 8 games. And a breaking ball is in there for strike 3 called. Nice job by Kettleson. He fell behind in the count 3-0 and ends up picking up the strikeout.
Able to work back against Nevada's most dangerous hitter. It's the second time today that Jung-hyuk Kwon has gone down looking on strikes. And not only just that, he's done it on a full count.
6th strikeout for Kettleson. And Jace Doby, check swing. He went around, says the first base umpire, Jason Rogers. So Kettleson trying to get through this 5th inning. 1 run has scored. Cardinals still leading at 5-3. Romanik Kibon on second. And now a ball and a strike on Doby.
It's a big hitter to get if you're Kettleson. You know, Doby's already 2 for 2 on the game with an RBI.
Trying to add another RBI here. as that one bounces away from Lavin. And Keybon moves up to third base.
It was almost a deja vu situation for Brock Kettleson. In Dobie's last at bat, Keybon was on base, able to get to third on a stolen base, and that was able to drive in the run that tied the game.
Nice pitch there. Pulled the string on Dobie. A swing and a miss. 2-2. He's one strike away from getting out of this inning. Here's the pitch. Ripped to left field. That one is carrying well, and it gets to the wall for an extra base hit. Keybon scores an RBI double for Dobie, and this is a one-run game.
Jace Dobie gets Brock Kettleson again, able to send it to left field, and it just looked like that Tokheim just didn't have the best read on the base on the ball.
Yeah,
coming
he
off the
nearly
bat.
got there, just out of his reach. And that's going to be the end of the pitching outing for Brock Kettleson, as it looks like we're going to have a pitching change here on the farm. We'll take a break, tell you about the new pitcher when we come back. Nevada has climbed right back into this game. Stanford leading it 5-4 in the fifth. Welcome back to Stanford. We're in the top of the fifth inning. The Cardinal leading Nevada 5-4. Tying run now at second base, and a new pitcher for the Cardinal, the right-hander Trevor Moore, senior from Golden, Colorado, coming in to make his sixth appearance of the season. He's 1-0 with a 1.04 ERA, 11 strikeouts and 4 walks, as Brock Kettleson goes 4 2/3, Philip.
Yeah, and it was just that top of the order that's really beat him today. You know, he finishes his outing at 4 2/3, only allowing 4 runs on 5 hits. Had 5 strikeouts, however, did allow only 2 free passes.
And Sean Yamaguchi, the batter, fouls the first pitch from Moore. So a chance for Nevada to tie the game here with a base hit. They've scored 2 in the inning. Cleanup man Yamaguchi awaiting the 0-1 pitch. Just a little low, 1-1.
Trevor Moore, he was listed on the Stopper of the Year watch list. Also a D1 baseball preseason top 100 reliever coming into this season.
That's a pretty nasty pitch right there. Yeah, he's been good in his Stanford career. We talked about his numbers already this year. He's off to a hot start with those 11 strikeouts in 8 2/3 innings, just 1 run allowed in his 5 outings. Trying to get out of this inning, preserving the lead for the Cardinal. That's popped up shallow right field. It's a long run, and it's the second baseman, Jimmy Nadai, going all the way out to make the catch, and that will end the frame. He had to go a long way for that one. Good speed. We're halfway home from Stanford. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th. Cardinal leading Nevada 5-4. 5-4 Stanford leading Nevada as we head to the bottom of the 5th inning. And a new pitcher for the Wolfpack as they turn to the red shirt sophomore right-hander Aiden Pollock. 5'9", 179 pounds from Las Vegas. Went to Bishop Gorman High School. This will be his second appearance of the year. Went 2/3 of an inning in his first one. Gave up 1 run on 2 hits, 2 strikeouts, and a walk. And he'll face Jimmy Nadai, who takes ball 1. So that will close the book on Jace Doby, Phillip, who goes 4 innings.
Yeah, 4 innings, gave up 5 runs, got knocked around a little bit today, giving up those 6 hits from the Cardinal hitters, but did have the 4 strikeouts and the 1 walk.
2-0 now on Nadai.
Not to mention Pollock, he's another two-way player.
Yeah, that's all we're seeing right now, huh?
Yeah, it's been the two-way show today here on the farm. Does play outfield when he's not on the mound.
Struggling to find the strike zone here against Nadai, 3-0. The preseason All-American.
And get this, Pollock, coming out of high school, he was more of a highly touted outfielder than he was a pitcher. He was the number 3 outfielder in the state of Nevada on perfect game.
Wow. And it tells you the talent he's got with his bat in addition to the arm. 3-1 count on Nadai, who will be followed by Brady Reynolds and Tatum Marsh. 4, 5, and 6 due up. And that is a leadoff walk. So Nadai aboard to start the 5th inning. Cardinal trying to extend their lead once again. They have not trailed in this game. They led 2-0 back in the 2nd inning. Nevada tied it in the 3rd. Cardinal got 1 back in the bottom of the 3rd, added 2 more in the 4th. And Nevada with 2 in the 5th to close the lead to 5-4.
You're just waiting to see which team is going to have the big inning.
Well, Brock Sell will be the batter. He shows bunt and takes ball 1. So Sell hitting for Brady Reynolds. A throw to first, a little bit off the mark. Sell this season 5 for 28, hitting 179. No home runs, 3 runs batted in. Freshman from Stockton, a little closer at first base that time, but again safely back is Nadai. Sell on the preseason Freshman of the Year watch list in the ACC, according to Baseball America. Big swing and a miss. 0-2.
This recruiting class that David Esker has brought in is going to be something in the years to come. Brock Sill, Rashad Hayes, Brock Kittleson. You're going to look to be the faces of the program, in the next few years.
Now trying to take this Stanford program back. Of course, they made the 3 consecutive College World Series in 2021, 22, 23. Last year, 27-25 record, as that is a swing and a miss. A nice pitch for the strikeout from Pollock.
we mentioned those 3 trips that Stanford have had to go get to Omaha, but now being in the ACC era, the mountain is a lot more steeper. Just knowing how stacked the ACC is, and then when I say stacked, like it's stacked like a plate of flapjacks. With how dominant of a conference the ACC is this year in baseball.
Yeah, no question about it.
Pulling up the standings right now. Right now Georgia Tech and Wake Forest opening the season at 11-1 overall, and Clemson, North Carolina State, Virginia, North Carolina, Miami, all with 10 or more wins already on the year.
Some fast starts. 2-0 on Tatum Marsh. Well, the Cardinal picked 10th in the preseason poll. Georgia Tech, the preseason favorite according to that poll, which I know coaches don't put a whole lot of stock into that, but fun for debate. That one fouled back. 2-1 now to Marsh.
And it goes to show why David Esker has to go a little bit extra to load up on the recruits. Just knowing that, hey, there's a lot more tougher, more established programs in our conference now. What am I going to do to find ways to win?
A lot of foul ground here, but that one will find the seats as it bounces off the top of the Nevada dugout. 2-2 on Marsh.
The first time a fan got a souvenir today. I haven't seen too many foul balls going to the seats.
Marsh, the sophomore from San Jose. Was on the all-freshman team last year in the ACC. That one gets by, and it'll allow the runner not just to get to second, he's going to try for third. Wow, aggressive base running, and it pays off for Jimmy Nadai.
Nadai rolled the dice, and Nevada paid the price there. Able to get that extra base, and knowing how the backstop is here at Sunken Diamond, it does allow for base runners to try to stretch a wild pitch.
I was about to say, that is a senior who knows this ballpark well. He knows how far that ball is going to roll back, and there was no hesitation from Nadai. He was not thinking second. He wanted third. And ball 4 to Tatum Marsh. So now runners on the corners for Stanford, just 1 out. And a really good opportunity to extend this 5-4 lead.
Aiden Pollock having a little bit of trouble coming out the bullpen. You would hate to give up the 1-run deficit this late in the game. But again, this bottom of the order for the Cardinal today have caused problems for the Wolfpack's pitching staff.
Big swing from Luke Lavin, who has homered in this game. His 3rd of the season. He's now homered in back-to-back games. Doesn't need a homer here, although it'd be nice, but he's just trying to at least drive in that run from third. Little tapper foul. So Pollock jumps ahead 0-2, and now he's got to be thinking strikeout.
Lavin did go down a swinging strikeout in his last AB, and it's a far cry compared to early in the game when he hit the 2-run home run in the second. So Lavin's been getting figured out here.
Now he's just trying to put it in play. Obviously Pollock would love to strike out here or a double play. Those are the 2 things a pitcher wants in this situation. We'll throw to first. So Nadai on third. Marsh on first. And the 0-2 pitch to Lavin. Runner takes off from first, grounder to first, and only play is going to be to the bag. That's going to allow the run to score as Nadai comes in to make it 6-4. So credit an RBI to Lavin, his 3rd of the game.
Yeah, I'm sure Nevada's glad that's all that Stanford's going to get. It was a pretty good hit ground ball that Kwan almost had trouble with on the backhand, but still able to recover to get the easy out at first, but I'm sure they'll take an out for, a possibility that of Stanford putting 2 across that time.
Yeah, at least trying to avoid the big inning here. 6-4, still not out of the inning as Marsh goes to second with 2 outs. Brock Kettleson shows bunt and takes a ball. So Kettleson out of the game as a pitcher, but remains in there at the plate, trying to do some more damage.
And for those at home wondering, how is he still in? He was penciled in as the DH. So,
right.
Rule is you could start a guy on the mound, but you also pencil him in as the DH as well. And again, I was talking to a friend about this the other day. I blame Shohei Ohtani for the
It's
universal
the Shohei
DH.
Ohtani rule, right?
Yeah, the Ohtani rule, having an effect in college baseball. And, Ben, as I was talking to Coach Getzelman before the game, I asked him, how does two-way a player impact the depth of a college baseball team, and why aren't there more being developed with the rise of Shohei Ohtani?
That's a great question.
Yeah, well, what he told me was that, if you can have a guy like stretch out innings to save room for the pitching staff, then I don't see why not, get more two-way guys up in the systems.
Mm-hmm. 3-2 now on Kettleson.
I mean, I can only imagine what Dave Roberts has to go through on a day-to-day basis and trying to figure out, man, how am I going to pencil in Shohei?
Not a bad problem to have, as that's ball 4. So Kettleson continues the inning. 2 on now for the number 9 hitter, Rashad Hayes, who doubled his last time up.
Well, when you have a 3-time MVP on your team, I'm sure, you can live with it. You can live with it any day of the week.
Yeah, it's like when people talk about, all the pressure that comes with managing the Dodgers and the high expectations. I think that's a fair trade-off when you have all that talent.
4-time.
Hayes takes ball 1.
And I apologize for all any Giants fans listening in of how much I'm talking about this, but hey, we get two-way pitchers aplenty on the mound today. So.
2 comes to mind. That's high, 2-0. 4 runs on 5 hits for Nevada, 6 runs, 6 hits, 1 error for Stanford. And a visit to the mound from Nate Snakenberg.
It's be a good spot for Rashad Hayes to try to get that first collegiate RBI. I got runners on at first and second, 2-out situation, and this is really where a player like Hayes can really grow into himself playing in a game like this.
He's ahead in the count here, 2-0. Marsh on second, Kettleson on first. That's in there for strike 1 from Aiden Pollock, 2-1. And now 3-1. And the dangerous Rintaro Sasaki is lurking on deck.
Hitzilla.
The 3-1. In the air to left center field, playable. Who's going to take it? It'll be the left fielder, Ramanek Kibon, to end the inning. So the Cardinal will have to settle for 1. They do extend the lead to 6-4. We'll head to the 6th inning. From Sunken Diamond, you're watching Stanford Baseball on the ACC Network. We move to the 6th inning from Klein Field at Sunken Diamond. Stanford leading Nevada 6-4. And a new pitcher for the Cardinal, third of the day, will be the freshman left-hander Andrew Shaw. 6'3", 201 from Woodstock, Georgia. Delivers ball 1 to Jacob Doyle.
Shaw's a fastball that can hit up to 89, about average speed for a college pitcher.
And now 1-1. This will be the 3rd appearance for Shaw. 3 1/3 innings pitched so far this year. 3 runs allowed, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. And a bunt fouled back. 1-2 on Jacob Doyle.
One thing to know about Shaw, coming from Woodstock, Georgia, Sequoia High School, where in his senior season he had 75 strikeouts and 50 innings pitched, giving him all region honors in his home area. He's got some wipeout stuff, though.
And there is that wipeout stuff. A nice start to his outing with a strikeout of Doyle.
That's very deceptive with the delivery. Looks a little bit like Cliff Lee. So you probably remember him, Ben.
Oh, yeah. Heck of a pitcher.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And, see a lot of that in Shaw's delivery.
Jackson Waller, the batter, and takes ball 1. Waller, the senior from San Marcos, California, played at Mission Hills High School, as that is in there to even the count 1-1. First meeting between these schools in over a decade. Stanford and Nevada playing on a Monday afternoon. We mentioned earlier they'll meet again in 9 days, a week from Wednesday, right here at Sunken Diamond. A couple of non-conference one-offs. ACC against the Mountain West. Good pitch there from Shaw, 2-2.
You could call the next matchup against the Wolfpack a true midweek matchup, just knowing that after today, Stanford's going to have a few days off, then they'll hit the road to open up ACC play to play the Demon Deacons of Wake Forest.
Andrew Shaw not wasting any time. 2 batters faced, 2 strikeouts. Yeah, that Wake Forest series should be a real challenge going on the road this weekend to open conference play. Their home conference slate opens a week from Friday. 3-game series against Pitt.
And I mentioned the hot stars that the ACC teams are having to open 2026. Wake Forest, up there with Georgia Tech at 11-1 overall. Yeah, tough team to play, and you see a lot of contenders for the College World Series that Stanford's going to be seeing down the stretch.
Another swing and miss generated from Shaw. He's ahead of Sam Kane, 1-2.
I like how Shaw's working that fastball and just mixing up the pitches here.
2-2. Yeah, he struck out Doyle to start the inning, then Waller. And now 2-2 on Sam Kane. Stanford holding on to a 6-4 lead here in the 6th inning. And there's strike 3. Andrew Shaw strikes out the side in the 6th. Not bad at all from the freshman. We'll head to the bottom half of the 6th inning. Cardinal leading the Wolfpack 6-4. Back at Sunken Diamond on a beautiful Monday afternoon on the farm. Stanford leading Nevada 6-4. Ben Ross alongside Philip Hall. Thanks for joining us on the ACC Network Extra broadcast. It'll be the top of the order here for Stanford. In the bottom of the sixth, Rentaro Sasaki, Teddy Tokheim, J.J. Moran. And boy, Sasaki, last time up, absolutely crushed a home run. A two-run shot for his third of the year. Take strike one here.
Yeah, Stanford with the top of the order coming up this inning. Be a tall task for Aiden Pollock to get through.
That one sprayed foul, so he jumps ahead of Sasaki 0-2. Rentaro Sasaki, the highly touted prospect from Japan. 6'1", 270-pound sophomore. Takes ball one.
I feel like if Japan needs a reserve player from the college level for the World Baseball Classic, wouldn't mind them giving Sasaki a call. I mean, dude, like, you only have to miss class for 2 weeks,
yeah.
But hey, for a good reason.
Here's the 1-2. 2-2. Well, as you mentioned earlier, Philip, he's the all-time high school home run champ in Japan, breaking Shohei Ohtani's record.
I mean, talk about a flex.
That's pretty good. It's a pretty good company to keep there. Pulled foul.
Hey, not only can Sasaki flex the muscle with his bat, but he can also flex records. And, you know, you walk around with that to your name. I mean, it just goes to show the kind of player that he is, and, you know, how we're going to see him grow as the years go on.
And the strikeout for Pollock. So that's a big first out here in the bottom of the sixth inning.
And I think Sasaki just kind of let that one go. You know, Pollock delivering a nice meatball down the plate for him, but just didn't take a bite at it. You know, this is going to be a pretty big inning for Nevada to get through. I'm trying to keep this a two-run game.
Another dangerous hitter coming up in Teddy Tokheim. Takes ball one. Tokheim getting just his sixth game action of the year, his fourth start. He's homered in back-to-back games coming in. Good pitch there for a called strike. Popped up behind the plate. Going to be a tough play in foul territory. Wow. Nate Snakenberg makes the grab, underhand style.
Now, that is one of the toughest plays to make on a baseball field if you're a catcher. Pop up behind the plate. You know, not only are you having to fight the sun, the range of the ball while it's in the air, but, you know, just how to maneuver, you know, on a play like that. You know, it comes in the key of why catching is one of the toughest positions on the baseball field.
You gotta worry about your mask, gotta worry about the dugout. Yeah, that's a nice play. So 2 up, 2 down for Pollock in the bottom of the sixth, and here's J.J. Moran. Takes outside.
They talk about some of the top defensive catchers of all time. You know, Yadier Molina, always a consecutive winner for the Gold Glove.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Carlton Fisk, you know, like, want to go real old school. You know, he was a solid backstop for many years.
Yep.
Yeah, but it ain't just catching balls and strikes. A lot more comes into play when you're the guy behind the plate.
Time called. 1-1. J.J. Moran, one of the 3 home runs today for Stanford. His third of the year. Luke Lavin and Rentaro Sasaki, both with 2-run homers in this game. The 1-1. That's high, ball 2. Two balls, 2 strikes on Moran. Stanford trying to get back in the win column today after losing the last 2 over the weekend against Fresno State. And that catches the inside corner for strike 3. Nice pitch from Aiden Pollock. So he sets down the top of the order, and we are through 6 on the farm. 7th inning coming up after this. Stanford leading Nevada 6-4.
We're back here on the farm, a 6-4 lead for Stanford. We're going to try to get back to 500 overall. Trying to hold on and get the W this Monday afternoon against the Nevada Wolfpack. Trying to at least break even against another Mountain West opponent. There's Nate Snakenberg leading off. He's going to see Andrew Shaw here. Him swinging and missing at the fastball. And then Andrew Shaw, he came out guns blazing in that last inning, striking out the side, coming right out of the bullpen.
And I mean, against 3 really good hitters too. You got Sasaki, Tokheim, and Moran. You're doing something special. We've seen, or excuse me, that was Shaw or Pollock for Nevada, but yes, Shaw as well. We're seeing a couple of young pitchers look good.
Yeah, it was Doyle, Waller, and Kane that Shaw struck out in the top half of the 6th. Yeah, but that middle part of the lineup has been a struggle for Nevada today. 2-2. Swing and a miss. Wow. Andrew Shaw. Snakenberg chasing the high heat there. 1 gone.
4 batters, 4 strikeouts. Can't do any better than that. So for the season now, he's got 8 strikeouts in 4 2/3 innings. That'll play.
And it's the 9th strikeout for the Wolfpack in total today. So late in this game, the Wolfpack just haven't been seeing the baseball very well. Jack Metro. Is that a first pitch strike from Shaw? 0-1, swing and a miss. To see the command just having such a presence on the mound. Misses with that one low in the dirt. One, two, swing and a miss. Shaw is getting his money out there on the mound right now. You could give him 5 strikeouts in a row. He just turned that Nevada dugout into a library.
Well, I'll tell you what, I mean, there's one way to gain some confidence in a hurry for a freshman, and it looks like he's already got plenty of it.
Was hit by Keybon, playing over at second, and that's high, off-balance throw, but in time to get him. Andrew Shaw, man on a mission right now for the Cardinal. He comes out and retires 6 in a row to keep it a 6-4 game as it's stretch time here at Sunken Diamond. We'll be back with Stanford up 6-4. on Nevada, looking to switch it up here on the mound as they're going to bring out the lefty. So we are in the bottom of the 7th. Coming into the game is Nick Miller, a redshirt junior out of Gilbert, Arizona. 5'8", 180 pounds on the mound, a JUCO product. Played his JUCO ball at South Mountain Community College down in Arizona. So this is going to be Natsai, Sell, and Marsh due up in this inning. Stanford trying to look for some insurance as it's been a well-played ball game today for the Cardinal event. Here comes Natsai, come up to the plate. He walked this last plate appearance. Foul off the first pitch to the left side. That was Miller's 4th appearance on the season. He's been one of the top options for Jordan Getzelman. Ball one in the dirt. As a matter of fact, Stanford are set to bring up a pinch hitter waiting on deck. It's going to be Philip Chong. That's how it looks at the strike. Count goes to 1-2.
Cardinal looking for any insurance runs that they can get right now, as good as Andrew Shaw has looked. To make these last couple of innings a little more low pressure if possible.
You know, the pitching staff for Stanford has been on point today. You know, with Brock Kettleson, you know, leaving the game, they're going 4 2/3. 2-2 from Miller. Hit down the line and left, but it's going to go in the back end of the Nevada bullpen foul. Natsai trying to stay on time. Breaking pitch from Miller runs just in. Count now goes full, so we'll see who wins the duel between Jimmy Natsai and Nick Miller. Payoff swing and a miss. Nick Miller able to win the battle. Now he's going to see Philip Cheong coming fresh off the charger, so that 5-hole today been as and a little bit of a rally killer in a way, as you know, Brady Reynolds started out the game striking out twice, and then Brock Sell struck out coming in the pinch hit for Reynolds. So the second pinch hitter to hit in the 5 spot. There's a fly ball to left. It's hit hard off the bat, but it's going to stay up for Caban. There's 2 away.
Oh, I like the aggressive approach from Chong. Didn't waste any time. Got something he felt like he could drive, and he did. He just happened to hit it right at the left fielder. But to your point, Philip, I mean, I think this is the kind of game, non-conference, midweek, where you get an opportunity to rotate some young guys in, get them at bats. See the same thing on the mound. Let guys try and get some experience. They're still trying to find their roles early in the season.
And that's something you're going to expect to see in non-conference play. You know, guys coming in pinch hitting mid-game. You know, if there's, you know, a part of the lineup that needs some cement fill-in, you know, you're going to try to go to the bench, see who could fill it.
Yep, 100%.
Tatum Marsh, count on him at 1-1. He's reached base twice today. Looks at ball 2.
It's one fouled off the other way. Nick Miller trying to look for the 1-2-3 inning here. Marston's another one foul. It's in foul territory, and making the catch over at first is Quan in the inning. A 3 up, 3 down, go to Cardinal. Nick Miller having a clean inning coming out the bullpen. This stays a 2-run game. We'll go to the top of the 8th here at Sunken Diamond. Now top 8. Stanford just need 6 more outs to get their 6th win on the year, trying to get back to 500. A few defensive changes made as Philip Chong's going to stay in the game now in center field. And now on the mound for the Cardinal, it's going to be Teran O'Haron. So he will come in, try to keep this a 2-run game. Oh, Teran O'Haron, the 6'1" senior from Rockland. And he's going to see Junyuk Kwon, who's going to lead off for the Wolfpack. At the first pitch strike. Glad you could join us here on this Monday afternoon for college baseball. It's Philip Paul on the call alongside me with Ben Ross. As O'Haron up on 2 strikes against Quan. Here's the 0-2. One's hit down the right field line, but it's going to sway foul. And a rough day for Junya Kwon at the plate. 0 for 3, struck out looking twice. Wow, and O'Haron was trying to make it a 3rd time there, but didn't get the call.
Yeah, got to be careful. Still a very dangerous hitter. He's got those, hit 2 home runs yesterday in the win against UC Davis.
1-2 misses away. Goes to 2-2 now.
At the same time, you got a 2-run lead here, so you do want to be aggressive. Obviously, as a reliever, you don't want to put the tying or bring the tying run to the place.
And check down to first.
Whoa.
No on the swing.
So he's been close a couple of times, and what I'm trying to say here, 3-2 now. You don't want to gift a base and bring the tying run to the plate.
You're waiting on deck. Jace Dolby. Quan sends it to right field down the line, and it's going to be foul. But oof.
Yeah, he showed some of his power there. Didn't even take that big a swing, just kind of reached out, poked it down the line, and yeah, that was not foul by much.
O'Haron trying to win the duel here. Quan got jammed, still sent it the other way. Gets another life. So O'Haron's 4th appearance on the year so far. He does have a save and 5 2/3 innings of work. They got him. They have been putting holes in Junya Kwan's bat today. Goes down for the 3rd time.
I like how O'Haron attacked him there. He kind of worked him outside, then back in, and then got him to chase away. Just did a good job keeping him off balance. And it's obviously a huge first out.
Here's Jace Dolby, who's been doing double duty. Today he started out on the mound, pitching 4 innings, and had a productive day at the plate. Or productive is an understatement. He's 3 for 3, 2 RBIs. One ground ball to second.
Natsai playing to the left. Able to roll it up for Sasaki. There's 2 gone. Now Sean Yamaguchi is trying to turn his day around. He's 0 for 3. And each of his 3 at-bats, he's been the last out of the inning. Just trying to find a way not to be that last out. Aaron trying to pump the fastball, but missed outside. There's a pinch hitter waiting on deck for the Wolfpack. It's Lee Matsuzaki. Aaron able to get it across for the strike. Yamaguchi gives a swing on it, but fouls it out of play. A few kids over there trying to get it. Shouldn't they be in school right now, man?
Hey, school's out. It's 3:28.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, make your way over.
It came over, or yeah, I don't know. Got out a little early.
I don't know. Is spring break still happening?
Take the day off.
Yamaguchi sent it to the left, and it's going to stay up high enough for Tokan to make the play as another 1-2-3 inning for Stanford, courtesy of Toran O'Haron. That's now 9 in a row retired for the Wolfpack. We're going to the bottom of the 8th. 6-4. Stanford still lead. Welcome you back to this Monday afternoon coverage here on the ACC Network Extra. Nevada and Stanford, with Stanford up 6-4. So we're now on the bottom of the 8th. Here comes Luke Lavin, having a solid day at the plate. He had a 2-run home run in the 2nd inning and even drove in another run on a ground out in the 5th. So he's had a 3 RBI day. He's going to see the new pitcher coming in for Nevada. It's Andres Castro. Castro's first pitch to Lavin. Strike right down the plate with the fastball. Castro's a sophomore, 6'1", 205 out of Tucson, Arizona. Lavin holds up the swing, goes to ball 1. That one season that Castro had at Pima Community College, 15 relief outings with a 2-on-1 record. 22 Ks. Lavin sent a fly ball to right, and that one's just going to stay in the yard. Kane was right there at the wall. Luke Lavin was trying to go for number 2 there.
Yeah, he nearly did get number 2. Ballpark just held it, but another good swing from Lavin, who feeling confident at the plate.
That was Brock Kettleson. He has an extra base hit on the day, double in the 2nd. Castro missing low. Strike 1. That's a 1-1. And then, Monday's a weird day for college baseball, I will say that. But this isn't the only game happening across the nation. As later tonight, there's a top 25 matchup. We got Northeastern taking on number 2 LSU down in Baton Rouge.
I think Monday's a great day for baseball. We need more Monday games.
You get out of class early, you get out of class early, you make your way down to the ball field.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the great things about baseball at every level is you get the day games during the week. Great excuse to skip a day of work or skip a day of school, or even if you can't, and watch the game from work.
Yeah, let's hope your boss doesn't catch you.
Yeah, that's why you got to be careful.
Also, Lipscomb in Toledo. Game went final 13-5. Lipscomb got the win. You know, Loyola Marymount up on Utah 4-3. Allison sends another foul. Even Washington up 4-1 against the Aztecs, San Diego State. So it's another Mountain West team getting some action today. There's another team, the Mountain West. So 3 Mountain West representatives had games. As Air Force won against Texas Arlington. Elson sends a rocket out to center field, and that one's going to stay up.
Ooh.
And making the catch in center field is Doyle. Wow.
Nice play. That's 2 back-to-back line drives that nearly left the yard. Hit well. Ballpark just held it.
Jacob Doyle running all the way back to the wall. Had to make an over-the-head catch there for the second out. Here comes Rashad Hayes. Right above the out-of-town scoreboard. Holy Cross in Seattle. Holy Cross up 1-0 top of the second in that game. Excuse me, that was actually Lee Matsuzaki that made that catch in center field. So excuse us on the miscommunication. So there was a defensive change for Nevada. Just getting the word here up at the press box.
Makes it even more impressive. Coming to the game as a defensive replacement.
So apologize there for miscommunication. Matsuzaki with the excellent catch in center field comes into the game for Doyle. Shot Hayes. And it's another fly ball, this time the right center. That's Matsuzaki making the catch to end the inning. 1, 2, 3. Go the Cardinal once again, but we're headed to the 9th inning, folks. Stanford trying to shut the door on Nevada. Trying to hold a 6-4 lead, trying to wrap things up here on the farm. We've made it to the 9th inning, folks, as Toronto Heron will be responsible to get the last 3 outs that Stanford needs to get win number 6 on the year and get back to 500. There's going to be Lee Matsuzaki, who came in to substitute in the last inning. He'll lead off for the Wolfpack. The Wolfpack, they're going to need 2 to tie this game up. They want to keep this going. Matsuzaki not wasting any time, fouls off the first pitch. There's a late call. The fouls today, they do rule it a foul ball. It could have gone either way. Matsuzaki's a redshirt senior from Honolulu, Hawaii. How about some talent coming from the state of Hawaii, the Aloha State? Ground ball to second. Jimmy Natai. Nice and easy to first. 1 away.
That first out always so critical in the 9th inning. Just psychologically, you know, I feel like it's harder to get a rally going once you have an out. Now, obviously, it can still happen, but get that leadoff man on when you're behind. It just feels like you're right there.
Jackson Waller. See if we can try to get Nevada traffic on the base paths here in the 9th inning. Strike 2. O'Haron pounding the strike zone here. After today, Stanford will have a few days off and then go take the cross-country flight out to Winston-Salem to see the Wake Forest Demon Deacons to open up ACC play. A very tough weekend series coming up to open up conference play for the Cardinal. Well, there's a good chance to try to get an upset win if you can, against a red-hot Wake Forest team.
Yeah, that's going to be a good measuring stick type series for this Stanford team. Obviously, you'd love to win the series, but at least want to get one.
O'Haron's 2-2. Missed away for ball 3. Count goes full. You have Sam Kane waiting on deck.
I want to see O'Haron attack here in the strike zone. A walk is the last thing you want.
A bouncer just in front of third baseman and making a throw in time. Moran. He has been on it over there at the hot corner. Vacuum cleaner.
Man, we've seen some good defensive plays in this game, haven't we? And some close plays at first base. But that was, yeah, that is not an easy play at all. Moran made it look easy.
I'll be seeing some shades of Matt Chapman.
Yeah.
From J.J. Moran.
Yeah, we got some good defensive third baseman in the Bay.
Oh, Kane ripped a liner down left field line, but it goes foul. Word from Asias Barba, third base umpire over there.
I don't know how he even saw that. It was a blur. I couldn't tell where it landed.
Yeah, Sam Kane sending the screamer off the bat there. He's 0 for 3 on the game, but he's the final hope for the Wolfpack. Here's the 0-1. This low goes to 1-1 now. On 1, ground ball to Hayes, picked up on the first, and it's late.
Oh, look at the hustle from Kane.
Sam Kane able to outbeat the throw from Hayes for the infield single. This one isn't over yet, folks.
And I mean, that was not a bad play from Hayes. I thought he fielded it cleanly, didn't waste any time. Strong throw. But give credit to Hayes. Or Kane rather, he just put his head down and ran and showed off his speed.
I got one rule and one rule only. Try not to let yourself be the last out of the game. That's the motivation that Nevada's trying to keep. Nate Snakenberg looks at strike 2 from O'Haron. O'Haron missing away. So the win is going to go to Andrew Shaw. Things hold up. O'Haron trying to put Snakenberg away for the game. Comes the 1-2. That one's grounded past the diving Hayes in the left field. Watch out. Nevada's starting to keep the train rolling here. There's runners at first and second with a go-ahead run coming to the plate.
A little 2-out magic in the 9th inning here. Like you said, you don't want to be the last out. And the number 7 and 8 hitters in the lineup, back-to-back base hits.
Gonna get a mound visit here. So Toron O'Haron came out pretty good at the bullpen, but now he's in jeopardy of possibly giving this game away for the Wolfpack, as they're now in a position to tie and possibly take the lead.
I think if you're Thomas Eager, the pitching coach, you're just trying to settle things down. You know, back-to-back base hits. Neither of them was hit particularly hard. Just balls on the ground. One of them that Kane was able to beat out. Another one that got through the hole. And you go, O'Haron's throwing the ball well. You just remind him of that. And just keep making your pitches. You're 1 out away from ending this thing.
So Ron O'Haron does have a save on the season. Looks like Nevada is going to make a move for a pinch runner.
Got some speed there as the tying run at first base.
So now coming off the Charger, the pinch run for Nevada, it's going to be Noah Blythe. So Noah Blythe will be the pinch runner at first base. Trying to get some speed out there on the base paths. Sam Kane is at second. Blythe now at first, pinch running with Jack Metcho at the dish. Looks at strike one from O'Haron. Missed outside. That was the 1-1. Just off the end of the bat on Metcho. So now 2 strikes again. O'Haron needs this pitch.
Let's see if O'Haron doubles up on that pitch away or if he tries to come back with something hard, high and tight. If you have Metcho off balance, I might double up.
The 1-2 pitch. Missed high.
Well, changing the eye level there, and again, changing speeds. I think you're probably going to see him go back to the off speed away, see if he can get a chase.
The 2-2. Oh, it's a good take by Metcho. So now the count goes full. Could be the pitch of the game.
And that's an advantage now for Nevada. You get the runners in motion here. So really any extra base hit should tie the game here with 2 outs. And the runner's getting a head start.
They are going to be going. Here comes the payoff. That one's hit over to third. Moran picks it. Gets the throw across. Oh, bobbled at first by Sasaki. And Metcho's safe.
Wow. Wow. That 27th out is the hardest one to get. And boy, with all the great defensive plays we've seen in this game, what a time for an error.
Kane goes to third. Blythe moves to second. And Metcho reaches to keep the game going, as they are going to count that as a hit. Actually, excuse me, they corrected it. It's an error. That one's hit right back up the middle by Romnick Quivon. Kane scores. Here comes Blythe. The throw to third. And Nevada ties up the game. Romnick Quivon is the hero for the Wolfpack.
Unbelievable. What a rally with 2 outs and nobody on. Single, error, single. And it is a brand new baseball game.
And he did not waste any time on that pitch. Jumped right on O'Haron, sent it right back up the box. And it's a tie ball game, folks, but Nevada aren't done yet.
You got to resettle now if you're O'Haron. Because you want to keep this game tied. And again, it's not all his fault, obviously. We talked about the soft hit singles and then the error. That one was hard hit up the middle, but you got to refocus.
He's got to see Jungya Kwan, and talk about a guy that really needs a turnaround here. He is 0 for 4 with 3 strikeouts on the game. 1-1. Oh, Kwan shoots it in the right center. That one's going to be enough for Metcho to score. Oh, it gets past the center fielder. And Jungya Kwan clears the bases, sending home Metcho and Quivon, and the Wolfpack are howling here in the top of the 9th. 4-run spot, making it an 8-6 game.
And how about these Nevada fans that have made the trip from Reno, making their presence felt? What a 9th inning, all beginning with 2 outs, and they've put up a 4 spot. Just incredible from the pack.
Here's Jace Doby as Toron O'Haron is trying to fight, scratch and claw to get that third out. Has been able to do so because the Nevada bats have woken up. And if you're a Stanford fan, it's scary territory here in this game. Sent foul down the left field line by Doby.
It's what makes baseball such a great game, right? There's no clock. You get 27 outs. Stanford recorded 26 of them. And Nevada has completely turned this game.
Bounce foul. Aaron now in another two-strike situation, and it's just been that situation that has gotten O'Haron off balance here in this inning. That one shot right back up the middle. They're gonna wave home Quan. The throw to the plate is cut off. Nevada put up 5 runs here in the top of the ninth. Jace Doby delivers with his 3rd RBI on the game.
And that's going to be it for O'Haron. So this game has flipped in an instant. And all of a sudden, Nevada, this lineup can't make an out.
David Esker is going to give O'Haron the hook. Man, he just got knocked around there by the Wolfpack hitters as they have brought life to the traveling fans from Reno, trying to close out their NorCal road trip in a big way. Well, Stanford's going to go to the bullpen. We're going to take a break, give you the rundown, the new arm, hoping to get the Cardinal out of this inning. The Nevada Wolfpack have flipped this game upside down here at Sunken Diamond as they have put up 5 runs on 5 hits here in the top of the ninth after Stanford started out the inning with a 2-run lead. But Toron O'Haron gets knocked out of the game, not just metaphorically, but physically, as now coming in to try to stop the bleeding is going to be Cassius Thomas for Stanford, a senior transfer from Duke. The righty from Los Angeles, went to Sierra Canyon High School, is looking to try to get Stanford out of this inning and get them back up to the plate ASAP. Got a tall task in front of him. He comes in with 2 outs, a runner at first. This is going to be Sean Yamaguchi coming up to the plate.
0 for 4 on the game, but he is looking to try to keep the rally going for the Wolfpack. A 2-out rally has gone awry for Stanford here, Ben.
Incredible. 5 unearned runs, too, because the error would have ended it. And Moran had made a couple of great plays at third base, just inaccurate with the throw, which allowed the lineup to turn over, and brand new baseball game.
Thomas already down 2-0 against Yamaguchi. This is away for ball 3. See if the reigning Mountain West Freshman of the Year gets the green light. Runs in for ball 4.
Baseball's a crazy game. I think, what was it, 11 Wolfpack batters in a row retired before this stretch where you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 in a row reaching.
Yeah, it's just so odd as Lee Matsuzaki steps into the box and he lines it at second base for Jimmy Natai to finally end the inning. But Nevada, you know, the moon's not out yet, but they came howling there in the top of the ninth, putting up a 5 spot to take the lead over the Cardinal when the Cardinal had a chance to wrap things up. But we go now to the bottom of the ninth, folks. Stanford gonna need some work to try to tie it or try to win it. We'll be back here from Second Diamond in just a moment. Oh, Nevada able to have a breakout inning, putting up 5 runs on 5 hits in the top of the ninth after Stanford has a 6-4 lead. But now we go to the bottom of the ninth. So now Stanford had their back against the wall as Rentaro Sasaki will lead things off. Good news for the Cardinal is the top of the order due up. Ball 1 from Andres Castro, who will stay in the game. There is a change at catcher, as it's now Jacob Harvey. Jake Harvey coming in for the Wolfpack behind the dish. Sasaki sends it in the right, and he gets things going here with a base hit.
Well, the home run and the base hit, he's been on board a couple times via walk and hit by pitch, so maybe Sasaki's starting to get things going, and it's definitely a good start to the inning. Look, we've seen it so many times in college baseball. Those last few outs are the hardest ones to get. Stanford saw it. We'll see if their bats can cause a little havoc of their own.
There's a change in the 2 spot, as it's going to be Court McDonald, who came in substitution for Teddy Tokheim. McDonald looks at ball 1. And it's just one of those things where you think you've had it, but just doesn't go the way. And McDonald sending a fly ball at the center field. Is falling fast, and it's going to fall in front of Matsuzaki for a single. So 2 straight singles go for the Cardinal. Talk about setting the tone here.
There's something going on in this 9th inning. That ball just found a hole. And now you got the tying run coming to the plate with still nobody out.
Yeah, but there is a guy that could turn it around with one swing. J.J. Moran, who homered in the 3rd inning, which feels now like an eternity ago for Stanford. He could definitely make an impact here at the plate. First pitch from Castro missed away. Moran is the tying run. Big swing, but Moran chases at 1 low.
think now if you're Andres Castro on the mound, you got to be refocusing the same way. You got the pop-up you need the last at bat. It just fell in.
Ran just a little late, sends it foul. Stanford have had a string of walk-off wins to open up the year. One, two, fouled again. Now they almost had a near comeback yesterday against Fresno State. They were able to get the game within 3 before Fresno State were able to shut them down, just falling short. Moran chases the slider from Castro for out number 1.
Yeah, that's a nasty pitch from Castro. And Moran just couldn't hold up. But to your point, Philip, in that game yesterday against Fresno State, Stanford trailed 11-2 at one point. And they just never quit. They got 8 runs on the board. Had I think the winning run at the plate, but just came up short. Hopefully history doesn't repeat itself today. We'll see.
Here comes Jimmy Natsai. Holds up the swing. Stanford did have a walk-off win against Cal State Fullerton a ways back, and they were also able to get the walk-off against Fresno State to open the weekend series last time as well. Softly hit the second. Nevada going to try to turn 2, and they will, as that will be the ball game. Stanford go down on the twin killing as Nevada, with a 5-run 9th inning after Stanford had a 6-4 lead, come back to get the Monday afternoon win here at Sunken Diamond. What a game that we have had here, Ben. It's the Wolfpack going to be howling their way back to Reno.
Yeah, it certainly makes it a better trip back to Nevada for the Wolfpack. And boy, for Stanford, this one will sting, but you got to put it behind you. We talked about the big trip to start conference play at Wake Forest coming up this weekend. And unfortunately for the Cardinal, just unable to get that final out, but give credit to Nevada. They did not give up. And it really all started with Sam Kane, what looked like a routine grounder to short. He beat it out. He just put his head down, hustled, got that first base runner for the Wolfpack, and from there, they just couldn't make it out.
Yeah, it was an interesting 9th inning that Stanford had to deal with, but Nevada, they stuck to my rule, don't be the last out, and they made sure of it, in more ways than one. So with this win for the Wolfpack, they now go to 5-5 on the season. Stanford dropped their 3rd straight against another Mountain West foe, as they will now go to 5-7, but they're going to have to look to what's up next, as they will begin ACC play later this week, as they're going to take the cross-country flight out to see the Wake Forest Demon Deacons, who are 11-1 to open the season. Now, I'm sure for David Esker, there is not just going to be about getting those travel points on that cross-country trip. They're looking to try to get some get-back on Wake Forest.
Well, I think, you can take some of the positives, some good at-bats in this game. Rentaro Sasaki, the home run and the hard-hit single as well. Maybe his bat's going to get going a little bit. Really, the whole weekend you saw some good at-bats from Stanford. I think, unfortunately, we'll see if the pitching can kind of find itself. And, it's a shame that it's a defensive play that cost them with that error, because they played some great defense for a lot of the game. But in the end, the error at third base from Moran could have ended the game. That's just the way it goes. It feels like sometimes when you give a team an opportunity, they take advantage. Credit to Nevada. They were given an opening, and they burst through it.
Yeah, it was definitely a tough one for the Cardinal, but they have to look ahead to what's to come.